Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into an open source project with a really fantastic idea. What if an AI could check, critique, and even correct its own work? We're going to see how this one simple change could be a huge step toward building AI we can actually trust, right? So imagine you ask an AI a question, but instead of just getting a single take it or leave it answer, the AI actually starts a process. It drafts a response, then it reviews that response for mistakes, and then it edits it, just like a person would. Well, this project builds that exact system, forcing the AI to refine its own thinking for much better, more accurate results. So here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about the problem this AI is built to solve. Then we'll get into the core concept of Agentic AI that really makes this all possible. From there, we'll walk through its super elegant three-step process, peek under the hood at the code's clever prompts, and finally, see it all working in a real application. Okay, so every powerful AI model out there has this one fundamental weakness. It can confidently just make stuff up. This is what people call hallucination. The project we're looking at is designed to tackle this problem head-on by building a sort of internal fact-checker, a safety net, right into the AI's own process. So how in the world do you build that safety net? Well, the solution lies in a really cool concept called Agentic AI. This is the key idea that takes an AI from being a simple question and answer tool and turns it into something that can actually manage its own workflow. So what is an Agentic AI, really? Well, instead of thinking of it like a calculator, think of it more like a project manager. You give it a big, high-level goal, and it figures out how to break that down into smaller steps and then gets them done, all on its own, without you having to hold its hand through the whole thing. And this is where that self-checking part comes in. It's a pretty simple but absolutely crucial layer of refinement. The AI generates its first draft, and then it kind of puts on a critic's hat to go looking for flaws in its own work. Finally, it uses that very critique to build a much better, more polished final version. It's this loop that makes the AI more deliberate and, in the end, a whole lot more reliable. All right, let's get into the how and see how this project pulls off this self-correction idea. It's actually a simple but really effective three-step dance. The elegance of this whole solution is just how simple it is. There's no fancy new algorithm here. Instead, the system works by having three distinct sequential conversations with the AI model. And each chat has one and only one job to do. And here it is, that three-step flow: draft, critique, and final. First, the AI just spits out a raw first attempt. Then, it's prompted to look only for problems with that draft. Finally, it's asked to combine that original draft and the critique into a single polished answer. This simple loop is the engine that drives the entire system. So what's the secret sauce that makes this all work? It's all in the prompts. The real magic is in the specific instructions that tell the AI which persona to adopt at each stage. Let's actually look at the prompts themselves. So in step 1, the AI gets this very direct instruction. See how it's told to produce a first attempt, and that's it? It's essentially being told to just be a writer. No judging, no editing. Just get the ideas down on paper. Next, the persona completely switches. Now, the AI is told to become a critical editor. And notice the super specific language here. It's not just asked to find mistakes, but to pinpoint factual errors, clarity issues, even unsafe steps. That precision is what guides the AI to do a genuinely useful review. And for the last step, the AI becomes a synthesizer. Its only job is to take the original draft and the critique it just made and merge them into a corrected and polished answer. It's such a simple but beautiful way to force the model into a structured, logical process. Okay, so we've seen the concept, we've seen the logic in the code. Let's see what this actually looks like when you run it as a real application. The app itself is built with really accessible open source tools. It's using Python, a simple web front end built with Streamlit, and this tool called Ollama that lets you run powerful AI models right on your own machine. This puts this advanced technique within reach for pretty much anyone. So let's just walk through the demo that comes with it. A user asks for something pretty straightforward: a recipe for a vegan chocolate cake. The AI gets to work and produces its first draft. But oh boy, it makes a classic mistake. The recipe includes milk and eggs, completely ignoring the vegan part. This is a perfect example of the exact kind of common sense error this system is designed to catch. Now the second step kicks in, the critique. The AI, wearing its editor hat, analyzes its own draft, and bam, it immediately finds the error. But more importantly, it gives actionable advice. Use plant-based alternatives like almond milk and flax eggs. And here is the payoff. The final answer perfectly incorporates that critique. The milk and eggs are gone, replaced with the correct vegan substitutes. The user never sees that messy back and forth. They just get a reliable, correct recipe. It just works. So what does a simple but really powerful project like this mean for the future of AI? Well, as we've seen, this is way more than just a neat little demo. This really illustrates a clear step up in AI systems. A standard single-pass AI gives you one shot at a correct answer. It's pretty high risk. But by adding this simple self-correction loop, you create a system that is just fundamentally more reliable because it's forced to check its own work. This is a huge step toward building AI we can actually trust with important tasks. So let's just boil it all down. First, Agentic AI lets us build systems that can handle more complex, multi-step problems. Second, this self-correction loop is a powerful way to boost accuracy and cut down on errors. Third, the key to it all is smart, persona-based prompt engineering. And finally, and this is maybe the most exciting part, open source tools put this power right in your hands to play with today. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As these AI systems get better and better at finding and fixing their own mistakes, they become more transparent, more dependable. So how will that fundamentally change the way we interact with, rely on, and integrate AI into our everyday lives? The homework checking AI of today might just be the trusted co-pilot of tomorrow.